forgetting that I have a decent mic that can be plugged in here without having to use the computer's mic. I'm not the best setup, sorry. Okay. Okay. Guys, my shoes, they match my shorts. Anyhow. Hey guys, it's been a while. Black Lady is live. It has been a while since I've come on here live with you guys. My makeup is like my lip is more complete on one side. See that? It's okay. It's like that. So at least it looks more. Now it looks like okay, good. It's been a while since I've come on here to talk to you guys, and I figured I would just come and chat about a couple things that have been on my mind lately. Now that I'm back in New York working, pretty much, I'm still remote, but we are being pulled into the office any day now, as they say. This topic is about being a Black woman in corporate America, and just it really hit me one night. I was watching Kevin Samuels, and I'm not a biggest. Let me just start by saying I'm not a person I'm not a fan club of really anybody. I do enjoy a message, and if I get a good message, a resounding message from anyone, sorry, my button. If I get a resounding message from anyone, God, I'm a mess today. Sorry, I wasn't well prepared, guys, so don't judge me. I'm not the biggest fan club person in terms of, I'm not the person who's going to be the biggest proponent of any one person on YouTube, but I will say this. When you're a Black woman in corporate America, you really do understand a lot of what Kevin Samuels is saying when he talks about timing, sexual marketplace, and just the kind of woman that you have to be in order to get married. I guess that's what what we suppose every Black woman is looking for, even though that may not necessarily be the case. I mean, some women are not necessarily looking to be married, but that's a whole different conversation. I think, when it comes down to this topic of Black women in corporate America, we have to talk about our time and our best years being, wasted in these corporations. Our best years are for those Black women who want to get married and have a family and want to, build upon a legacy or create a legacy with someone in the community or even outside of the community. When you're working all day, 10 hours a day, it's almost impossible to find an opportunity to get out and really mingle, because it's just so much energy that you're putting into your job. And there needs to be a conversation in this country about the overwork culture. There is a culture that, in corporate America especially, that overworks the Black body. We're going to talk about Black women tonight because I am a Black woman, and this is mostly about my story. So the deal is this. I've been pretty much working in financial services for 12, 13 years now, since I was 20 years old. I studied what would be considered communications with a marketing focus, and I also studied African studies. Those were both my majors at Hunter College. I didn't go to a Ivy League school. I chose to stay local and incur less debt, because I know that debt is something that really can have an adverse effect on your life. So I just didn't want to go into debt going to a private institution, especially one like an NYU, where it's really not that highly, it's a great school, but it's not as highly regarded as a Columbia. And to spend that kind of money and be in debt, I knew better than to do that. I just said, let me get the education that I can get and also where can I find out and learn about myself as a young Black woman. So I went there and decided that these were the careers paths I was going to take. I ended up doing several marketing internships and landed a job at an asset manager at 20 years old. And I realized, like, okay, I like doing financial marketing. It's a different set of tools. It's a different technical expertise that's required. And there's just a different thought process in this industry. And I really like the competitiveness, and I like, the nature of what is happening here. And of course, I love all things money. So, but there's only one thing that I love more than money, and that is time. You can't get your time back. Let's keep it 100. As a Black woman, giving all your hours, all your days, all your sweat to these people, you can't get your time back. I mean, your time is so valuable. There's only but so many years that you're going to have to, even I can feel my energy dwindling still. And I'm young enough to have that energy. I still have a lot of energy, but it's not like it used to be. And I think that a lot of Black women go into these corporate careers and they don't even realize what they're trading off. I mean, just think about it like this. You want to get married, but at the end of the day, the person that's likely to marry you is switch this microphone. The person that's, and can you guys hear me? Hey, Michelle. I really love this lady. I'm so glad she's on here. Hey. I think that when you're a young Black woman in corporate America, and I hope you guys can still hear me because this microphone's a little bit distant. There's really never a conversation about what you're giving up. You're giving up a lot. You're giving up freedom, autonomy over yourself. You're giving up the ability to develop into a strong and confident woman, because working in an environment where people are suppressing you and always trying to put you in a subservient and servant's position. Hey, what's up? I love you guys. Thank you. Guys, just a few people here, but it'll grow. We'll be patient with it. Let me get back to what I was talking about. So I think that one of the things that you give up working in corporate America, I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys work where you work or how corporate your environment is, but I've worked for some of the biggest consulting firms and some of the hardest hitting, heavy hitting financial companies from New York City. And what I will say is there is definitely a clear indication as to what you're giving up. You're going to be giving up a lot. If looking for a family is a priority for you as a Black woman, how could you do that when you spend 10 hours a day working for someone else? And let's just take the race out of it. Let's just take the white corporation part out, and let's just take the Black woman part out. If you are a person who's spending 10 hours a day inside of a box, clickety-clacketing on a fucking laptop, how are you supposed to meet anybody? How are you supposed to interact with anybody? How do people even know that you exist if you're inside of someone's beautiful building? I mean, some of these buildings are so gorgeous. I mean, marble everywhere. I know when I worked at that one firm, there was marble all over. Gorgeous. White marble in the hallway, Black marble in the bathroom. It's just gorgeous. The entire building right there on 42nd. And what I will say is it didn't matter how gorgeous that building was some nights that I was there until 10:30 and 11 o'clock. It didn't matter. It didn't matter to me because all I wanted was to have the freedom of self. And that's what's missing from a lot of our corporate sisters. It's like we've taken on a role at work, and we've also taken on a role in life. And it's unfortunate because there's nothing to be gained at the end. I mean, if you ever see a Black woman that ascends to a high position in corporate America, a lot of them are pretty much single. And if they're married, I'll just leave it like that. And it's not to judge anybody. It's just to say, what do you want out of your life? What are you looking for out of your life? I think that in our community, Black women have to be a little bit more intentional about what they're doing in life. I mean, I know it's important to have a job, but does the job move your career forward? Does the job move your intentions forward? Is the job putting you in a position where you can actually do something in life outside of just paying bills and taking trips? Because taking trips and paying bills are cool, but ultimately there's more to life that people need a lot more capital for and a lot more support. Sometimes you can have a lot of money and there's no support system. So I really do feel like there's so much to be said. Um, Obviously this title says Kevin Samuels was right about one thing. The one thing that he's right about is that Black women are investing entirely too much time at these corporations. We have to pull back. We have to take our lives back. And I'm not talking about a 2-week fucking vacation. I'm talking about entirely. If you need to drop your kid off to school, you do that. If you need to take a week to yourself and work remotely, you do that. I think that there's a lot of pressure on us. From what I've seen at all the corporations I've worked at, I say work because a lot of the work that we do, it's not moving mountains. It's not saving lives. So when we talk about work, we're talking about small tasks that compile onto other tasks that are being executed amongst 6,000 and 7,000 people at this firm in order to make this conglomerate rich, this one family rich, this one group of people rich. All the while, you're missing the opportunity to be at home with your family. You're missing the opportunity to build a family. You're missing the opportunity to foster your friendships. There's so much being lost by submitting our lives to these corporations. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having a good career and a good job, because I'm blessed and I'm happy to have one. And I'm also happy to see my sisters continue to thrive. But if you look around and you really survey the room, it's some of the most depressing things when you go to these holiday parties and you get there and it's like everybody's there with their significant other. Even the Black guy, he's there with his Asian wife or his Hispanic wife. And then there you are, you come single. And it's like, oh shit. Oh, forgot to do that. That's why for me, I've always put my life ahead of my job. Even though I'm successful at what I do to a degree, I'm definitely not as successful as some other Black women because they're willing to do more and I'm not willing to do that. There's things that they're willing to do that I'm just not willing to do in my daily life. Aside from creating a family, aside from all those things, there are there's just shit that I'm not willing to do to fuck. I don't know what to say. That's the way I gotta say it. You feel me? There's not a day I wake up in this life that I don't want to do shit for myself. I guess call it an only child thing. Call me selfish, call me a bitch. Doesn't matter. I wake up, it is my day. God woke me up in my body. I am blessed and I'm going to handle things for myself today. It's very hard for me to get in line with a culture that is designed to be subservient and that just pushes down on the Black woman so hard. I mean, if you look around some of these companies, you can see who's really doing the considerable heavy lifting when it comes to the work. And you can see who's just wearing their business suits, smiling at the client and bouncing around the firm, selling work. Okay, Brad. So I really think that there's a culture that pushes us. First of all, it makes it almost impossible to get promoted. I was blessed to get promoted when I did. And I feel like now, I'm still, even at this place I'm at, I'm not at the level I should be at, but I'm at the point now where it doesn't matter. As long as the money is hitting my bank account and I can leverage that money to do other things that drive me forward as a woman, I'm going to continue to do those things. But as far as buying into that plan, I mean, all I see is old Black ladies at the firm, no husband, maybe a kid out of wedlock with someone that they met out of the firm 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but they're not with that person. So they've got a mixed baby, but they don't have anybody to help them raise that baby. So it's just, It's a shit show. I really think that Black women have to be very intentional about their time. It's a more important resource. And we're blessed. We're blessed to have genes that keep us young and youthful for a longer time than other races of women. So to be honest, at this age, yeah, I may be in my early 30s, but the reality is my body operates like I'm 22 years old. I don't have no problems going down. I don't have no problems moving my body and none of those things. And the majority of us don't at this age because we have superior genes. It is what it is. Like, let's just keep it all the way real. It's 2021. In the name of IET, we have superior genes. So at the end of the day, we are the kind of women who, yeah, we could work at the firm for 10 years and then come out and still get married. So don't let, Kevin Samuels isn't right about everything. As a Black woman, you've got the genes that says that you can play a little bit longer than everybody else. Sorry to burst his bubble. But your genes say that you got up until my mother got pregnant at 30, 39. Granted, she didn't keep that baby. That was her choice. But at the end of the day, I know women that are pregnant right now, 45 years old. Beautiful Black queens. So don't get it twisted. It's not like we are in a rush to do anything. Women, us Black women, we have a longer time window than others. Sorry, it's called mitochondrial Eve. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. And people can feel how they want about what I'm saying. And I know I'm saying it in a certain way, and it sounds fucked up, but it's true. You are not Becky, and you're not Sulin or Maria. You have the ability to produce any gene created on this planet. At any point, you can probably have a baby up till 55 years old. I bet a Black woman could. A lady in Mali just had 10 babies. I congratulated Queen. It's called a race for a reason. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can do what you want as a Black woman. You don't have to feel as though you have to fit into some sort of role because you work at a company. And the disposal, can we talk about the disposal of the Black body at these corporate companies? They will use you up like a battery and you won't have a fucking thing or a say in it. Next thing you know, they're telling you, you did something you never even heard of. Like, what? I didn't submit one timesheet on time. And all of a sudden there's an issue, whereas all these other people get to run amok. The day of working twice as hard to get less is over. We don't do that anymore. Let them work for their own shit. You save your energy for your community, whatever community you choose to be a part of. I'm not telling Black women what they should be doing or who they should be seeing or who they should be procreating with. That's your fucking choice. But just know that whomever decides to put that baby in your belly needs to be guaranteeing you a little bit more than just a pat on the back. Sorry. Like, you birthed that baby, that's great, but there's more to it than that. In our community, there's not really a conversation about that. Women are not able to make choices because the majority of us are either stuck in the corporation or stuck at the strip club. Choose it. Black women are working too hard. It doesn't matter where they're working. Even the strippers are working too hard. God. Some of the Beckys only have to strip 2 and 3 nights to have $1,500, $2,000 a week. And some of you bitches are out here stripping for $200. And I feel bad. Because it's not all lilies and roses. Some of y'all are out here really busting it open for no fucking money talking about strip club. It's a disgrace, and I'm not trying to judge you. But just know that there's a million ways to get money, and if you wasted less time, busting it open for $200, you could maybe do something else with your time. I'm not saying anything about it because I've stripped before as well. Shout out to Show Palace. Shout out to the Players Club. Right? Shout out to Cherry's Lounge. Fuck all you. We can do what we want to do. We need to take our time back. I was on several of those Goldman Sachs calls where they're trying to give Black women money. Money for their businesses, and all of the businesses are in service categories. Could you believe it? They didn't give you money so you could, design some beautiful shoes or some beautiful nightgowns or create a cosmetics company. No, they're giving you money to create waste facilities and all kinds of other shit that sounds noble, except isn't that a man's job in this society here? To create the infrastructure by which you will sit comfortably while you have your children and your family and you nurture his legacy. I'm sorry, but in the name of Tabitha Brown, don't you dare, Black women, don't you dare. In the name of retiring your husband, don't you dare go out there looking like a fool. I'm telling you guys, you'd be looking like a fucking fool, some of you. I would rather be single out here mingling, getting called a hoe every fucking day, than to sit there and retire a man who don't even want to be retired. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can we keep it real? The man doesn't want to be retired. The man doesn't, he wants to work. He wants to provide for his family. She wants to be in an elevated position. She's lost in her thinking. She's exactly the reason why some of us have to work like dogs. We don't want to work like dogs. I see Black women every day. I'm in Brooklyn. Beautiful Black queens out here. I meet them every day. Every place I go, they're gorgeous, dressed up, nice, this, that. You look around, there's barely enough niggas to go around for them. And then the ones that are there, please. So to me, it's like, we here have been sold the wrong game. We've been sold the wrong game. For me, I always knew what the game was because I come from the Bronx, a place with highly promiscuous women. So I've always been the type to have a boyfriend. I knew that was early from the beginning. I knew that was important from the beginning of life. Gotta have someone because at the end of the day, just gotta have someone holding me down. It was always for me, for my own life, that I wanted to have someone in it to support me, not to support him. I'm not saying supporting him is a bad thing, but until you're married, that doesn't click in. You got to do things that benefit you as a woman. Let him benefit himself. Let him prove to you that he is the man that deserves to have his legacy replicated, his genes replicated. Let him prove that he's actually that person, instead of giving him something that he didn't earn and inconveniencing yourself with it. Yo, it's like giving somebody a car and they don't have a garage to park in. Now they got to park in your shit every day. What? I just don't understand the mentality of us. And I want, especially the ones of us who are that are in corporate America, that are looking to escape. Just do it. Walk out. I do it all the time. Guess what? There'll be another job. You're talented. Walk out. Get that paperwork. Start that business. I've been incorporated since I was 18 years old. And I didn't do a fucking thing with my incorporation until 2015 because I was enslaved by corporations. Don't let that be you. Be the kind of person who is about your business, not the business of Charles Schwab. I never worked at Schwab, but I had a girlfriend who did. And I swear she thought she was so fucking important. And every day she would talk to me about her job, and I would be thinking to myself, but you do HR. You are in the subjugated position in the firm. We laugh about the HR girls. The girls who just review paperwork and do nothing else and just talk to people on the phone. When's the last time you've done any kind of financial projection? When was the last time you So for me, I'm laughing at it a lot when I sit down with some of my girlfriends. Like, pretty much, if you're a corporate Black girl, you used to be in my life, you're probably not in my life anymore because I don't roll like that anymore. I don't have time to sit at this beautiful restaurant where bitches are paying for themselves, which is retarded. We're sitting there staring at each other 4 deep at a restaurant, talking about a corporation that doesn't pay us enough to begin with. I just want my sisters to do better. I want them to choose themselves before the job, before the man, before everything. Choose yourself. It's called self-actualization. Okay, not his actualization. It's you need to get out there and just be. What black women need in this country is to be able to get out and just be without criticism, without criticism. Just let them live the way you let everybody else live. Let us live. And that's it. That's all I have to say. We will continue to build upon this conversation. I'm gonna definitely start having people call in and shit like that eventually. I really am not on this here YouTube often in terms of like posting my own videos, just because I have to get into a cadence of it. I have to put a little schedule together. I have a new assistant. My assistant is pretty dope. She's a very, very nice young black woman. She's actually a good friend of mine's daughter. And what I like about her is that she pushes me to the next level in terms of she she gives me an opportunity to do that very necessary knowledge transfer. That's like, hey, here are my skills. Now it's off my back. Now I can be free. And I love it. I love it because this is exactly what I was looking for from certain men that were in my life, but because of ego and um, because of men's need to feel elevated, even when they don't work or when they don't contribute or when they don't really add value, there was never an opportunity to elevate because there's no support system. You know what? I'm going to pay my support system. My system is dope. She's going to help me build because that's what's necessary in this community. Very rarely do we see these brothers come in and build with us. A lot of the time, they want us to build with them. And then they don't even want to give us the credit of an elevated position of a ring, of a solid family without multiple children on the side. So it's just a lot to consider when you're a black woman who's really about your business and you're really trying to move and shake in this world. If you want to align yourself to someone, I would say, think again. Self is important. You can align yourself to someone's ideals and be a part of some of their initiatives, but you don't need to follow them all up and through the globe. I won't be doing that. I'm happy to be a part of any movement that elevates my queens, but not at the expense of my sanity, not at the expense of my health, not at the expense of my happiness, and not at the expense of my fucking pocketbook. Nope, no more. Black women have chosen to move away from a society where we are being exploited and used on a daily basis. I mean, I walk around here and this is a black neighborhood, and now I see some of our queens pushing some of these people of no color, as Cynthia chooses, people of no colors, children up and down this street. And it depresses me because somebody should be pushing our kids up and down the fucking street, don't you think? It's about time that we get in the elevated position as black women. And that's what is owed to us. And we don't have to do any more work. In the name of Oprah, aren't you bitches tired? I'm fucking tired. As a black woman, I'm tired. I'm tired and I don't even have children. I have girlfriends who have kids. I don't know how they do it. I have a girlfriend who has, she has 3 kids and she straight told me, girl, don't do it until you're married. Because even though marriage ain't shit and he's not going to be faithful, that paperwork means a lot when it comes down to getting this money for these children. Yes, it does. She kept it all the way G-real with me. And it's a fact. Paperwork is something we need in order to rip up our bodies. Not everybody's going to bounce back. I know some women that have bounced back. I have a girlfriend she has 2 kids now. Oh my God, did she bounce back? Wow. But I knew she would. She's a healthy woman. She's a healthy young woman, Jamaican girl. She bounced back great. She bounced back great. But she doesn't have a male role model for this daughter here and this son here. Maybe for the son, not for the daughter at least. Daughter's father's long out the picture. And what daughter's seeing now is just all she's seeing is party, 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 party. This girl, all she does is go out. It's like she really still thinks that we're 24 years old, which is cool. I mean, I love to go out, but I'm single and I don't have children. There's, you can go out too, but I also think that there's a way that People, there's a way to conduct yourself when you're building a family. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. There's a way to conduct yourself when you're building your family, and it is no wonder that certain people chose not to be mixed up in that family, because at the end of the day, they didn't want their children to be influenced. And it's understandable. If you know you want to shake ass, maybe slow down on the family shit. I want to shake ass. I'm not really like ready just yet to completely lay down my life, but I am ready to get in position to lay my life down. Give me like a year or two. You know, I'm getting that last little bit of young spirit out of me, so I could just be that woman that can be a family woman. But do what you want to do. And even if you get pregnant and you want to have that baby, I don't want to do that too. But put yourself in a position where someone is helping you. Someone's got to help you, honey. We got to stop trying to be super women out here. Someone's got to help you. I've always had someone help me because that is the definition of being a woman. I know I'm not impaired, honey. Everyone knows I'm not impaired. But let him believe that I am so he can help, even if I don't need the help. Let him help you, hon. Let him pay a bill. Why not? I know he has to work hard for his money. But he knows how hard it is to push a baby out. So he's going to do what is necessary to take care of me. Like, how hard could it be? My journey through corporate America has been a shit show. It has been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of rewards and a lot of yanking rewards. It's like as soon as they throw you a bone, they will come and take that shit back. You know what I mean? Like, and what you realize is that they do that in a way to kind of throw your career off track so that you can never attain certain levels of accolades and status within these corporations. So you can always be the battery pack that's fueling the brads in these corporations, which is just fine by me as long as I'm being compensated the right way. But when it's time for me to walk, it's time for me to fucking walk. When it's time for me to go, it's time to go. When it's 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock. And 6 o'clock is late, guys. I don't know what time you guys work in other states, but in New York, there was a year specifically. I think it was 2007, 2008, right before the market crashed, my first job, where we went from working 9 to 5 to a national mandate of 9 to 6. When? All of a sudden, 1 week we were working till 6, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, they changed it. People work till 6, and they don't get paid for the lunch hour now. I'm like, what? Another hour here? Don't they know I eat while I work? I want to go home. I want to sit, relax. I want to go get a pedicure. I want to have a massage. I want to watch TV. You see what I'm saying? These are the things that you are really not able to do because your time is being engulfed by these corporations ultimately. And what do you get? All you get is a slap on the back. And then when it's time for you to leave, the most you might get is, I got maybe some severance pay twice in 2 different places. But the majority of the people out here, they don't, the majority of these corporations out here, they're not really trying to give you more money and elevate your position. You're the person who's driving the work. You're the person who's responsible for everything that's going on around here, getting it done. Every spreadsheet, every presentation, it's your little fingers doing it. So we need you from 8:30 to 6:30 every day. Don't think you're going home early. So if corporate America is all you aspire to, just know you'll be a slave. It doesn't matter how much they pay you. I always knew it. I never thought I would be this long in it, as a matter of fact. I kept walking. I kept taking leaves. I kept walking. But then it's like a reset in this New York here, where as soon as people are getting up, us working people, something happens in this economy where it knocks us down to the point where we have to run back to these corporations for jobs. And I really find it to be financial abuse of our community. And no one says anything about it. No one says anything about how they hire and fire us left and right, like it doesn't fucking matter at these corporations. No one ever says anything about how they exploit our work and put us at lower positions so they can pay us, bill us at a lower rate while exploiting us and dangling a carrot of, oh, but you could be at this level. We're gonna be. I know you're this. I know you're an SC, but we could have you working as a PC. You get more exposure. Exposure to who? People in the company already? What's the exposure to? Because it doesn't matter where I'm staffed. It doesn't matter what project I'm on. It doesn't matter what you ask me to do. My pay is the same. I signed the dotted line for this salary. I know my salary is not going up based off of exposure. I know my salary is not going up because you expose me to 6 and 7 C-level people at this company who know I'm a slave and know that I do their work for them. Can we be real? There's nothing wrong with understanding your position and exploiting that position. I know when I walk into these companies what they expect of me, and I give them what they expect, and I walk the fuck out on time. And then when they start to question, my thought process and me walking out on time, then I walk out off the job. Because it doesn't matter what exposure they think they're giving you. Ultimately, it's the same hours that you're losing in your day. 10, 11, 12 hours in a day for what? One spreadsheet that could be done within 4 hours? They're so upset that we work remotely, trust me. These HR people, some of them are so jealous of a young Black woman that gets an opportunity to work remotely and comfortably because they have to be dragged into the office, because they have to interview new people, because they have to do work. You have to see that people have ulterior motives even in these corporations. No one is playing fair, ever. No one is playing fair. That's why you have to play just as dirty as they do. Let me tell you, one of my managers, her name was Jackie also. She said to me that I always had transactional relationships at the firm. I didn't build real relationships. And then I didn't understand what her point was. What real relationship am I building in this place? No one is my friend here. This is work. I ended up getting promoted twice at that company, by the way. What I realized is that her motive was to keep me in her group so I could continue to do the work in her group because I was so dedicated. So she didn't want to lose me as a resource. And at the end of the day, I just stepped right over that bitch with a leave of absence. I came back into my new position. See you later. You got to know how to play. Some of these people will hold you back because you benefit them. All the while, you're not even developing relationships outside of work. You're worried so much about getting promoted and doing all of these things and, making a name for yourself at the firm. You're doing extra work at night on your laptop. Like my fiance used to talk about it all the time. He was like, yo, when I start this job with Professor Agnello, you can quit your shit and you can start your record label, work from home. Because really, it's like you never have any time for yourself. It used to piss him off. I didn't have time to even, there were times in our relationship where I didn't really have a lot of time to spend with my man because I was traveling 4 days a week. And then by the time I get home, I'm tired. And it's like the weekend's here. Yeah, this is how we lose out in life. By giving more time than what is required to feats that are not ours. We are not supposed to be working so hard. Let these men in our community work and build it for us. If not, we go into other communities where men have built things. We need resources. We need men who can continue to put us in elevated positions. I don't want to work so hard anymore. And most women don't, especially the women that have put real work into their life and their career. They want to, you know what I'm saying? Kick their feet up and just be like, look, time to have this baby here. If you could be a scrum master or project manager or any kind of business analyst or any kind of prioritizing business consulting kind of person, then you have the organizational skills. This is something that they don't tell Black women. Hey, the skills that you have at work, don't let them fool you. This is some bullshit that they try to tell us, that we can't parlay those skills into other avenues in life. If you have organizational skills and you utilize those organizational skills for your professional career on a daily basis, you damn sure have the skills to be a really good organizer of the family. You have the skills to be the kind of wife who can organize your empire, keep the kids organized, um, keep the house running, keep some of your husband's initiatives in check, and still host important people at your home. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the responsibilities of a wife. And if you have the organizational skills to work for your boss, this is something that Kevin Samuels says all the time. And I think that this is exactly the only point that I pretty much agree with. If you could work for your boss, you can work for your own legacy. The problem is a lot of us are working for men who have not given us a legacy. So to be honest with you, you're working for men who haven't paid yet. They haven't paid their invoice yet. That's the problem. Ataka Zulu. I agree. As an African American man who's sick of the USA, I want to learn how to make more money, how to make money and open my own business in Africa when I visit Tanzania next month. That's brilliant. That's wonderful. Parlay your skills that you have here and bring them over there, and I'm sure you'll be valuable. Tanzania's in a good way in terms of African American people reinvesting over there. Just do it. I don't know much about it. All I know is what I've heard and what I've seen here on YouTube and what people have told me. But go and have fun. Go explore your options. See if you can make money. I find that people that have a money-making mindset know how to make money anywhere. It's in your blood. It comes with who you are. I just feel like as Black women, I understand, I know as an African American man, you want to go and you want to build your resources. That's very, very important. But ultimately, what will you be doing with those resources? Will you be elevating a Black woman? That's important. Will you be building a Black legacy? That's important. So many of us are just chasing money to just go and give it to Gucci. I'm not putting anybody down, and I don't want to say anything about people's lovely brands. I do have a lot of brands myself. I don't have a lot of brands to the point where it's exorbitant, but I have at least one thing from all the big brands. Now I barely wear that shit now. People are getting robbed in the streets. I just don't. I really. Where am I? I try my best to stay fashionable within the realm of the community and not sticking out like a sore thumb. I could stick out if I wanted to around here, but I choose not to. I've had other instances already happen to me, so I really feel like sticking out, it's not necessary. We just need to be in an elevated position. People need to be living in better communities. People need to have access to more resources, and they need to be collaborating, Black women and Black men, to bring their resources together. Otherwise, Black women will surely take their resources to other communities, because we're high time for us to relax and be in our feminine. High time for us to get our time back, get our resources in order, and elevate our sons and daughters from our womb. And I think that that's something that Black women want to do it so badly, but they can't do it while they're breaking their backs every day. I just want them to be happy. And I want also for myself to look into my future. I can see it now. Like, I want to know that I did everything that was possible to make myself happy and to accomplish not just happiness, because happiness is not the end goal of everything in life. Happiness is not the end goal of everything that we do, Black women. That's another thing. Like, every day you can't be, I'm sorry, you got to challenge yourself sometimes. But I really do believe that if we had more of our time back, it would almost be built into us a sense of contentment. Because at least we know when I do work, yeah, I'm getting some money, but when I do work, I get paid, and then I go back to what I was doing. We don't need to feel exploited anymore. This community is badly damaged. Atuka Zulu. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm all for the Black community, especially investing in the Black family and the women, resources to build up the men. as warriors and give our women peace and a legacy for the children. Thank you. Thank you for writing that. That sounds nice. That sounds really noble. That sounds really noble. Um, Continue to do the good work. Just do it. You know, that's the thing. I think people just have to do what they say. And you know, instead of just saying what they're going to do. Like, do it. Make a move. Go. I mean, it's not to say, hey, within reason, if you've got the money to go and do it now, do it now. If you don't, then wait. I just think it's going to get harder and harder for us to find ourselves in Africa if we don't start making moves now. A lot of the people who watch me, we're all part of a community of people who are looking to rebuild Africa. But every day I look around, something's going on in the diaspora. And hey, even if you think that, even if you think that the assassination of the Haitian Prime Minister, if you think President, rather, Mr. Jovenel Moise, even if you think that that is not related to us, it is. Haiti has a huge significance for us in the diaspora. And they're just letting you niggas know that you stay in place. There will be no revolutionizing on the watch of these white people. The only way that we can get our power back is to unite and to do it at home. We must we must find each other as black women and men. We must find each other and we must go back home. There's no other way. I'm sorry, guys. It won't happen. There's no other way. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into that conversation because this has been a long stream. I'm going to start doing call-in shows where I can have people call in and talk. And, you know, when I get more organized around that, we'll do more of that. But I just want to say, like, if you think that we're going to be able to elevate our position as a black family in this white man here's stolen land, you know, one of my good friends, he is from Cali, a mestizo, Mexican from Cali. And he they want their land back. You have to understand, we're in a white man's country that's not even on the white man's land. We actually have no business here. So those of us who are smart, we're getting out the way. Shit is about to go crazy. And I really want people to understand what kind of things are happening in this country without having to go into the details of, you know, these groups that are up and down the I-95 with rifles and guns, and the only group that they stopped was the black guys. The only group that they stopped with the weaponry was the black guys. But I'm sure there's plenty of other groups going up and down, you know, between Virginia and Florida and stuff, training and stuff like that. But they happened to find the one black group, and they got accosted on the highway. I mean, if you don't realize by now that we're at war and that we need our warriors to feel empowered, and there's no way I can empower a warrior. He must empower himself. He must be so fed up with his condition in these lands and the way that his mother and his sister and his daughter have been subjugated in these lands that he's willing to fight for himself. And that's the point. The point is we must get out of our king's ways so that they can go ahead and do what they're supposed to do. And while we get out of their way, we still have to be doing things for ourselves. You know, let this good example of Mr. Jovenel Moise give you some encouragement. Jovenel is dead, but where's he wife? He wife is in Haiti. He came from Haiti, and she's in Miami now. She is in Miami right now, getting treatment. She'll probably never live another day in Haiti. I don't know where she put herself in that house. I don't know what escape room or what decision she made that she is still alive today. I guarantee you she made a very selfish decision in those minutes that she is still alive today. I guarantee you she looked at Jovenel and ran into some area that she had planned from years ago in that house. Maybe got hit by 1 or 2 bullets behind a wall or something. But she's still alive today. That's called preservation of self, ladies. Think about it like this. If your man is the president of Haiti, who's going to tell his story if someone assassinates him? You got to be the one. You got to stay alive. You got to preserve your health. You got to preserve your safety so that we can continue to move forward in our community. It is our duty as women, Black women, to protect ourselves while these men go out there and fight on behalf of this community. If that's what they want to do, let's see what they want to do. I mean, right now, I'm not convinced. I met a couple men in Miami that told me, hey, what are you going to do for the Black community? What I'm going to do is stay pretty and stay Black and stay paid and stay safe. That's it. I expect these men to do what they have been tasked to do, which is to defeat their oppressors. That's what I expect them to do. Defeat their oppressors without my help. My job is to take the Pitney them and put them in the room and shield them and make sure they don't get killed, these kids. My duty is to protect myself and find my way to Miami so I can give the details of what really happened that night. I can't wait to hear her story, Mrs. Moise. I can't wait to hear what she says really happened. Anyhow, next show I'm gonna try to set it up like, call-in kind of situation. I don't know. I don't really like call-in shows because I haven't been doing this YouTube thing for that long, and I really just like to talk to you guys and give you my opinion, and then you can simmer on those opinions and put those comments in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. A Black Beauty is out. I did get one last comment. Hold on. When I talk to Black women, I always tell them we are one heart, and Black women were adored in ancient Africa. And I ask, what is it they would want and need when Black men want to invest in the family? No, that's the problem. Black man's job is not necessarily to invest in the family. His job is not necessarily to invest in the family. His job is to invest in himself and protect the family. Make money and make sure that I am in a place where I can be protected if guns come blazing, like Miss Jovenel Moise had to deal with. His wife, he is a true provider, Mr. Moise. He set up a plan. I don't know what plan he set up, but I know for a fact that wherever she was in that house, they probably didn't even know she was there. And that would have always, they must have an escalation plan for her to protect herself. Which to me, that is what a true man does. A true man surveys his surroundings, understands the situation, and says, babe, listen, if anything bad ever happens to me, follow A, B, C, and D protocol. This is what you do. And you do that shit. That's how it was for me with my fiance. If anything ever happened to me, you go to this friend's house, you speak to this friend, I put this money here. That's a real man. Black women, you need to be putting yourself in a position where a real man can step into your life and make provision for you. If you're making provision for yourself, I guess you got it covered then. Anyway, the Black Beauty is out. I love you guys. And we will chat soon. Peace. One love.